Hi guys, it's Chris with City Girl Homestead. Time for supper. Okay, so if you remembered last week when I went down to Bronson, I grabbed these taco bites. They're chicken and cheese. So I'm going to incorporate those into a meal. And I'm going to do this a little bit different than what, when I get to my other thing, it's going to be different. Alright, so these have to go in a 400-degree oven for 15 to 18 minutes. I'm going to do 18. Okay. So now my salsa, I do have some thick salsa like this that I can, but I also have some more liquidy. Last time what I did is I did the immersion blender and it made it a little bit thicker. So this recipe calls for 3/4 of a cup. This is 2 cups. So, but if you notice all the liquid in there, yeah. We're going to use the whole entire thing because it's more liquid. And we're going to add just a little bit of olive oil because basically what you're doing is you're going to cook the juices out of it. And so my thick salsa, I don't think it'll hold up that great, you know what I mean? Because you want to incorporate the cook time and everything in with it. So we're going to add our salsa. Told you this is going to be really easy. We're going to do a teaspoon of chili powder. We're going to do a teaspoon of cumin. I just seen this. So basically this is going to be the main dish. You know what I mean? And the other will be just like the side dish. And we need a teaspoon of paprika. And we need to put the lid back on here would be great. I hate when they get on there sideways. And we need a teaspoon of garlic. There's so little of that left, it's not even funny. So now we're going to get that mixed together. And I'll show you what I mean about the juice. And a little bit of extra salsa. That's not going to be a bad thing for anybody. See what I mean? It's got all the extra juice in there. So now we're going to cook that for just a little bit. And you'll see why I wanted to do this way instead of doing just the 3/4 of a cup. And I hope it turns out good. I do. You know what I mean? Maybe it's too much, and if it is, oh well. Now we're going to use 2 cans of rinsed and drained pinto beans. Make sure I get them off the bottom. I had Tom bring me up some from my home canning, and he brought these up instead. Well, they got to be used up too, so that's okay. Now we want to get that all mixed in. Just like so. And now it says to cook it for 15 minutes because you want to cook that juice out a little bit. But while we're waiting for that, I'm going to have a dip for those that are in the oven. So I'm going to take some sour cream. That should be plenty. Some sour cream. And then I'm going to take some of that thick salsa. And please do not use the same spoon because it will taint your salsa. And then it will be no good. And you don't want that either. And I'm going to use a couple of good spoonfuls of that. Put the lid back on that. These are my favorite, these square jars. I absolutely love them. And then we're going to get that just kind of mixed together. You're going to see me and Tom eat in our living room today. Our dining room is full of all kinds of stuff. Now, if you want to add something else to this, like cheese or anything like that, you could go right ahead. This was me and my kids' go-to when we'd watch Survivor. We do this in tortilla chips. And sometimes we'd actually, you know, do veggies in it or whatever. But this was our to-go thing that we always did. Alright, so I'm going to let that cook for a few minutes. Because basically we're just trying to cook some of that juice down. Let me show it to you here in just a second. Maybe if I ever learn how to combine cameras and all that good stuff, I can have a camera hanging down and... But there we go. Doesn't that look good already? I'm telling you, yummy. So I'm going to let that cook for a few more minutes, and then I'll be back. Okay, so it's been cooking for 15 minutes. Now let me show you the difference. Look at how a lot of that liquid has cooked right off. That's why I wanted to use the whole thing, because so much of that flavor would be gone because the liquid's been cooked down. Now, I forgot to say what this was. It's easy Mexican rice and beans. I took the other things out. And then I'm going to add, it says 2 cups, but I'm going to add whatever I have in my bag here that I freeze up. And we're going to get that stirred into it. I accidentally took the wrong thing out of the freezer. So I had to actually put this in the microwave to get it so it was enough so I could break it up and everything. I'm like, oops. But I figured beans and rice with it would be really, really good. And it'd be more of a special flavor to it. Because, you know, I'll add my rotel to my rice. But I've never done it like this. And then, you know, I noticed normally I'll do like the refried beans and then I'll put salsa in it and whatever. But when I seen this, I was like, you know what, that kind of beats everything. Look at that. I think it looks delicious. So I'm going to get all that broke up and let it cook for a few minutes, and then I'll be right back. So now how does that look? Pretty good, huh? I'm just like I said last night, I want to show how we can take side dishes and make them into main dishes or whatever. So it's not just for hors d'oeuvres or whatever, you know what I mean? And we can make it into something really, really good. Because a lot of times we'll buy stuff on sale like that, and then, you know, oh, we'll use it at such and such time, and it doesn't get used. So I want to use those special things that I buy like that and actually incorporate them always into a meal, so that not only is it inexpensive, because that was only $2. That's not bad. And then, you know, with the rice and everything, the rice maybe, I don't know, 75 cents, the beans, $2, maybe $1 for the salsa. So, you know, $4 or $5 for the whole meal. That's really not bad. So I'm going to try a taste of this and see what I think. It's got my salsa in it. Can't be bad. Oh my gosh. You guys, that is, oh my gosh. That is so, so good. And those beans from cooking in that salsa, and then the other spices and everything, the beans, the rice, everything absorbed that flavor. Oh my gosh. One more little bite, maybe? You have to be like Tom. Gotta be sure. The only thing that would have made it better is to use my own home canned beans. Alright, so when Tom gets home, we'll meet you guys in the living room. Well, hi, Tom.
Hello.
How are you?
Good.
We're doing the legitimate TV table.
That's what happens when you do construction.
What? TV table? Oh, yeah. Belle's like, oh, I'm closer to the food now. What do you think about the beans and rice?
Good.
Try those other little things. I made you some dip there for them. The sour cream with salsa.
I'm assuming that's finger food.
Yep. What do you think?
Good.
Those are those box things we got 2 for $4. And there's a pie there.
That Kool-Aid pie I ordered?
Yes. There's crust underneath there.
Mm-hmm.
What do you think?
That is good.
So, how's your quick dinner?
Delicious.
Alrighty. We're going to let him eat. You guys have a great day. Be a blessing, be blessed, and goodbye, Tom.
Goodbye, Tom.
You guys have a great night.